looking at stuff and things.
Indeed.
Are you engaging in any Black Friday, Cyber Monday shopping?
So, absolutely not for Black Friday. I don't like people in stores as it is.
Oh my God, yeah.
So, I've like, I don't want to sound like a hermit or anything, but it's like I don't like people being in my way. And Black Friday is like the epitome of that day. So you would have to entice me with the most absurd sales. But I also don't want a lot of things. So
That's true.
No need right now for Black Friday stuff. Now Cyber Monday, I'm going to of course be perusing for the good deals on stuff I don't need. Small random things. They're like, you know what? You can get a pack of 30 pencils for like 12 cents. I'm like, I don't need 30 pencils, but who am I to pass up this offer? So that's the stuff I assume I will get roped in buying. How about you? Did you do anything?
I do the online thing, obviously. Amazon had their whole thing all week, and I was building a cart, and of course I didn't pull the trigger on any of it. Nice. And then I remembered, oh yeah, Cyber Monday's a thing. So it's still the same cart that I could buy stuff from. And I was like, I should do this time, and I never do it when these deals are going, is buy like useful shit. Like the stuff that I buy at the grocery store, or like toiletries, or like tea or yerba mates or stuff. Because, just anything like shampoos, all that shit, that'll just be cheaper. Like buy it now, and I won't do it. I won't. For some reason, in my mind, I don't connect deals with like regular everyday shit, and I should if I was smart, but I'm dumb, even though I'm saying it right now and I won't follow my own advice. It'll still, when this episode comes out, I will have not purchased these things.
I will, I assure you folks, Amazon. I will have not bought the things I'm talking about buying.
But I usually use it as a time to re-up on my Vans. So I love a good pair of Vans. I probably have like a dozen of them. And I always like to go like, and today I bought like 3 different pairs for $120 total. So pretty solid deal. And then I also use it as my time to like buy video games that I probably won't ever play. Cause I like to buy them cheap, on Steam or all the sales and shit like that. Cause most of the time I start playing them and then I don't finish them, and I just go back to the same multiplayer games. But as I texted you last night, I am Balls-dur deep in Baldur's Gate 3. Dude, I fucking love it. There's a joke
in there somewhere. I'm not sure if you pulled it off, but it's definitely in there.
I don't know if I'm going deeply enough.
No.
But it's so fun. Like, I was up to like 4 a.m. playing this game. It feels old school, Got this Christmas tree behind me. I just remember getting video games for Christmas or whatever. And it wasn't on a crazy sale, but it's usually like a $60, $70 game, and I got it for $40. But I've been wanting to play it, and I was like, this might be a game that's worth $40, and I think it's a game that's worth $200. Honestly,
wow.
It's so deep. Like you were talking about that board game once, that kind of the D&D aspect, and it is in the D&D world. You do have to roll dice. You build a party. You have to make decisions, and it makes me not feel bad about playing a single-player video game. It's like got like great story, characters, music. Like you can just play it. Like I just walk around, explore. It's so fun. So I already feel like it was well worth the purchase, and I will probably continue to play it for the next 5 years. It's like one of those games where you can, just have it for a long time, go in and replay it as different characters, and I feel like a kid again. And today I am very tired, so you'll have to carry this one.
Oh, good. I like that. As per usual, your suggestive time on altering our Sunday morning podcast comes after 11 o'clock at night when you're at presumably an emotional crossroads where you're like, well, this is probably something I should have sent earlier, but I'm going to send it now and just see how it lands.
Yeah. Like, just extra. It's like, I'm going to be up playing this for a minute. I can tell.
Hey, what are you up to? Nothing, man. It's 11:30. Just driving home.
Well, I forgot because I remember you were going to be doing something, so I didn't know. I assumed we were going to do Sunday morning, but I didn't remember. And you did do something.
I did. I went to a concert.
Wow.
Yeah.
Skanksgiving.
Skanksgiving indeed. So this is an event that the Saturday after Thanksgiving, the Starland Ballroom up in Sayreville, New Jersey, just south of the city, has every year, and Goldfinger has done like has headlined the last 3 events, and so they keep coming back, which is impressive because we were talking about it. Me and the 2 other guys I went with, that like they fly out for this. This isn't part of tour or anything, and Goldfinger's members are all from like California. So like it's pretty weird that they keep coming back for a one-time show that they headline in New Jersey when they're all from California.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, you know, as per usual, a couple bands on the set or on the bill, if you will, that I'd never heard of or seen. Enjoyed both of them, so patronized them by getting a T-shirt of each. Joker's Republic and Joystick. One is a 3-piece ska band, no horns, nothing like that. So a very interesting concept. And then another one was a larger New Orleans ska band, kind of like faster, harder, a little bit of screaming and stuff like that. But another big one, I got to see a band that I had never seen before, Save Ferris, which people may remember as one of the bands from the prom scene in 10 Things I Hate About You. So if you're not a ska aficionado, they were on that. They were in that movie, and they were also popularized for their cover of Dexy's Midnight Runners, Come On Eileen. So that was cool to see them.
What was their big hit? Like from the what was the song from the movie? Was it?
Ooh,
I feel like I knew what their original was.
Shoot. What the heck is the name of the song, too? It's... Give me one second.
Hey, as you're searching, let me give you some vamping music.
I've confused my priorities. Isn't it supposed to come to me? Yes, this is how it's meant to be. Every little thing flashing on a screen. Age of convenience. My daddy worked hard for this.
And was that enough time?
It's called I Know.
I know. Okay.
So...
Don't really. Let me see. I'm gonna look them up. I feel like I had the CD of Save Ferris, and I remember what it looks like. But I don't exactly.
Yeah, they're...
I don't know.
The studio album was called It Means Everything. I remember picking it up at... I actually found it at a thrift store. That's how I got my hands on that CD. Probably in like 2005. But...
Let's catch a little whiff of the Skanks giving vibe here.
My mama said to stay away from guys like you. She said they were nasty, made me do things I don't want to do. Stay away from bad boys, they got one thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is the vibe. Were you picking up pennies? Going around picking up dimes? What do they
I'm
call
in
it?
my 40s.
I like that.
I'm in my 40s. I got there at a good amount of time so I could stand towards the front of the line so I could get into the venue and find a nice seat. So...
All right. How
That's
apeshit do
just-
people go when Goldfinger plays Superman? Do
very
they bust out their
apeshitty.
N64 controllers and
Right, yeah. People start ollieing.
yeah.
Yeah, so that always gets a good rouse out of it, and it's cool because it's kind of like a super show aspect for a lot of people, because Mike Herrera, the lead singer and bassist of MXPX, was on bass for Goldfinger, and then because they have so many songs with horns, but they don't actually have horn players, the horn section from Real Big Fish was at the show too, playing their horn parts. So it's pretty cool to see a bunch of different aspects from different bands.
That is very nice. I love that it's just like with no context. You just say you're going to Skanksgiving. It's
a
got a
hard
different-
sell to people.
Yeah.
When people don't know that it's a dance for ska music, they're like, "Hey, talking about." I'm like, ah. Well, I don't know why I keep volunteering the word. I should just say I'm going to a show. There's literally no advantage.
Program.
I don't clarify anything. Like if I use the term, they're not like, "Oh, what do you mean a show?" Oh, Skanksgiving. Oh, like, but, yeah, a little bit of a hike, just over an hour drive away. But like I say, it's good to make sure I go to a show here and there. So yeah, it was fun.
And what about traditional Thanksgiving? What'd y'all do?
Right, that. We did Thanksgiving at our house. Had some people over, Caitlin's family. Nothing crazy. Her cousin makes the turkey, which is like an outdoor air fryer, kind of like weird
Oh, hell yeah.
oven thing.
And no fires?
No fires. It was raining and cold here Thanksgiving Day, so we had the I don't know what I don't even know what, if it's an air fryer, like a weird like tube almost that you drop the turkey into.
But there was no
I can't
like
even
cooking oil?
No, it's an oilless turkey fryer. So I don't understand the science behind it, but it's phenomenal. Yeah, like it. So what he does is he takes the turkey and like basically makes two different flavors. So he takes like a flavor injector and does one side that's all spicy, which is so good, and then he does like a garlic and herb side. So it's pretty cool that you can use this thing, and it probably only had to cook for 4 hours, 4.5 hours, and not needing oven and stuff. And you really don't need to do anything. You check on it every once in a while to make sure like the pilot light's not going out and such. But it seemed like a pretty simple process when he does it. So, and then outside from that, I had a first time someone brought a stuffing mashed potatoes, like the same. It's like
a combo.
Yeah, it was like the consistency of mashed potatoes, but it tasted like stuffing. It was very odd. Very odd. It was good. Really good.
Is it?
Honestly, like it was delicious, but I'm like looking at it, I'm like, I don't even understand what I'm eating, and I don't really care. But, and then,
when you call anything the consistency of mashed potatoes and it's not mashed potatoes, it scares me.
It is. Yeah. Right. Because mushy isn't usually a classification of food that people gravitate towards. Think of like stuffing, but even mushier and like more forming. No, I don't want to think that. But no, it's very good. And then a lot of staples. Pretty run of the mill. No pulled proteins. Not even one.
Cinnamon apples were at our dinner table. My sister made them. I mentioned them in the pod, I think. First time in a long time having them. Delicious. I made a full plate. I wish I was hungrier, kind of. Like, I wanted to eat more of the food. There was just so much. I was just tired. And but it was a real treat just having the day off and not having to worry about anything, just like lounging around at the folks' place. It was nice that our football bets that we made with super producer Steve's money was done in the first game. We didn't have to sweat that at all during the day.
Not a single one survived the first game.
So real easy getting through that. So then we did what any family or friend group should on Thanksgiving, get into a fight over Mario Party. It's like
good.
The real way to really enjoy the holiday. I mean, not like a real fight outside of, it was my sister, my younger sister, my dad played for the very first time Mario Party.
Okay.
And sort of like Switch. He's dabbled a little bit here and there, but not really a gamer. Mm-hmm. I won. No big deal. First time playing the new Mario Party that came out. It's very good. But I did defeat my sister.
Adios, turd nuggets.
By stealing a star from her, which she was none too pleased with. That's when it gets real. And I told my dad, this is the part where you lose friends and family. what I'm gonna do here. See, what I'm gonna do here is.
Oh man, it's even worse when you're like discussing it before it happens. What you're about to see.
Well, because she had already gone through that spot on the map where you can steal, and she stole from the computer. And right away, I said, that was a terrible mistake. It's like, no. I was like, you don't do that.
Oh,
you steal from the person that has the most.
Yeah, it's even worse when you're playing with computer players. Because, right, there's like the respectable way to do it, to take it from the computer so that a live person's not feeling your wrath.
Yeah.
Oh.
But now I did. So she was very much enjoying that for the rest. And then what made it even better is that somehow my dad got second. She got third.
Oh,
First time he's ever played. Oh, God. And at the end, like, it was like a 10-turn game, which is, pretty short. And every time after turn 5, it would say, like, what turn is this? It's like 6. He goes, out of what? 10. Oh. And they'd be like, what turn is this? 8? Oh. He just hated it.
There's nothing better than someone offering to play a game and then consistently being upset that the game is continuing.
I know, and he didn't have to. He's like, yeah, I'll play if you guys want me to. And we were like, yeah. I don't know if he thought it would be like 10 minutes long. But,
right. Did you think this was like rock, paper, scissors? What kind of game did you think you were getting into?
Then he's like, is this what all video games are? He was saying. And I was like, no, this is like a very specific. Actually, almost no video games are like this. This is a board game.
But what does that question even mean? Are you convinced that question, the answer was a possibility of being yes? Is this what all kids are doing when they play video games? No. Like, what?
I was like, what do you...
That's like watching them...
This one's just 2.
That'd be like watching a movie and being like, is this what movies are? What kind...
All movies.
All movies? No, this is this movie. Like...
Oh, man. So, it was like, it's just too... I didn't like it. It's just too... It's just too surreal for me, And I was like, I guess, you know what? Is that from the world of somebody who's not, like, Balls-dur's deep in the Mario world? I guess, like, for us, we're just so familiar with it. Everything in there, we know all the characters. I know who Birdo is. And, Monty Mole already. And he must be like, what the fuck is this thing? Like, I don't, like, these, who's bad? Why are we even doing this? Like, what is this game? It's like, no, you have to do this. Pretend you're hammering nails and with your, your Switch Joy-Con. And now, now it's a race. And now you gotta, it's a memory game. And then but I was like, this is a very basic version of video game world and lore, and characters. So I just need to do, like, more realistic. I was like, what, like, World War II shooting? It's like, yeah, like that. I thought it was going to be like that. Okay, well, this is it, like that.
One thing I've always said is that Mario was missing was like the
shooter,
the real intense stuff, the shooter aspect. Yeah, put me in the Mario world. Yeah, where there's death and despair.
But yeah, pretty solid.
Can't please them all, I guess.
All around day. And all the pie and everything and the lounging. And yeah, here we are. We're in the quick turnaround from Thanksgiving to Christmas, which is coming so quickly. A lot of townies in this weekend, at the bars and everything.
Sure.
Just a lot of people. Yeah, you're talking about Black Friday. I was like, I had to make an Amazon return, which, you do at Kohl's.
Sure.
To drop it off. And I was like, well, yesterday I was like, I'll go to Kohl's. And then they give me that coupon that's like 20% off for making a return there. And then it's probably are going to have sales. And I walked in there and there was a line winding its way all the way back, like at the register. And I was like, fuck no. I was like, I got my return and I was like, I wouldn't even begin to stand here for, I don't know. It's like, I don't understand how you could walk into that store and be like, okay, I'm in for this.
I want to be here. This is exactly where I want to be right now.
Yeah.
And I'm willing. I'm going. And
that's it.
Like, because it's at that type of place too. You're like, you're not even knowing if you're gonna find something you want. So, first off, you have to find something that's of value enough, of good enough deal, and that you want enough to stand in the line that you have already just seen is very much real. So, like, Kohl's can be really bad with lines, really bad. So on Black Friday, I can imagine it was just a mess. And yeah, there's nothing I could easily say. You know what looks better than this? The free couch I have at home, or just anything else really. Like maybe I should go for a walk or something like that. But standing in that line is definitely not where I want to be.
Yeah, it does. It has made me feel guilt-free about just lounging the last couple days, and just it's cold, rainy, Thanksgiving of it all. Yeah, just hunker down, get yourself a game, watch some games, enjoy it. Well, now it's Wednesday and it's the middle of the work week, a regular week, so sucks for you and us who are now on Wednesday. Good news about work though. I'm moving stores, Jeff. I know that's not big in your world, but I'm going to move to the Fairmount store, which will put me directly next to Marshall's and Target and a whole other strip mall. It's gonna ruin me. Every day after work, I'm gonna go shopping. But
I'm never going to financially recover from these.
Yeah, after this
So
week,
when's that
I'm
move
moving over to
happen?
that store, which is
Wow.
very quickly, very quickly.
When did that get sprung upon you?
The days ago, the day before Thanksgiving. So very quick. They were going to make moves in January, and they just decided for office space reasons to move me very quickly. So I'm going to work with a different trainer. I'm going to work with somebody who I worked with at Auburn, so I'm very excited. And that store is really nice. And I will probably save somewhere between 25 to 30 minutes a day now on travel, which is a huge upgrade. I'm very excited about that part of it most. We've talked about it on this program before, but it matters, the time in car or travel. This drive's just super easy. It's one of the easiest drives that there is to get there. And it's a very exciting thing happening. So I'm pretty pumped by it. And I'm just looking forward to those. I guess it always comes back to shopping. Just going at like 5:30, going to Target instead of like on a Saturday. I haven't been to Target in a while, and I really want to, and I know I'm going to go one day, and I'm going to be like, this is it, huh? All right. Well, I gave it a go. But who knows? There's an Old Navy. There's a Home Goods. Dude,
So many
I've got my pick.
opportunities.
I've got my pick
So many
of all the shopping a
opportunities.
boy could love.
So how long will it be before you have to participate in that store's interesting activity that you're like, I can't believe I'm getting paid to do this?
I don't think they do it the same way, which is also kind of exciting. They don't.
Oh, really?
In my role, yeah, I think they get other folks to do it.
What makes you think that that's the case?
Because I know where I worked before, they didn't have enough people to like engage, and they call it the care programs, the care team, and they didn't have a care team there, and that is why I got to help. I got to. That's what we say in the Wegmans world. I got to help. And usually they have like people, like a lot of like the kids like to do it, or the front end people like to get involved in that kind of stuff. And so I think this is it's a more populated store, more folks there, it's bigger, more action. So
Okay.
yeah, it'll be good. I will unfortunately have to focus on the parts of my job that are more my job, those parts of it, and training on those.
I
things,
guess.
so.
All right.
Yeah. Less serving food to people throughout the day, which what might not be my bag. I might not be. I enjoy being
gonna miss
in
it.
HR and learning it, but I might not be a food service person or a foodie at all. I always feel bad working at a food store or a grocery store, and people are talking about like people who are really into food, and I'm like, yeah, I had chicken tacos again, the same ones that I always have. I don't really cook at all. I don't enjoy it. I don't find pleasure in it. I just need food in my body. That's kind of it. And I get the same stuff over and over again. I will do a HelloFresh every few years, to get it out of my system. Just to do one of those. Because I do like doing it as like something you would do once in a while. Like going to a wedding or something of somebody that you like. And you're just like, oh, I could do this for a little while. And then, I hope I don't have to do this again for another while. That's the way I feel about cooking, because it everything ends up on every table and counter, and I don't know how to do it. And I do enjoy it for that moment, and I get why people like it, but I'm bad at it, and I don't want to put the time into getting better at it. And I work at a food store, so
Well,
yeah.
It's not like cooking, like you say, it can be a hobby, but there's no need for everyone to enjoy every aspect of life, like stuff like that. So, yeah, I get it.
Well,
So what do you
I think, in the interest of the just that Thanksgiving energy, let's not go an hour 20 today. Let's get right into
I agree.
1997's greatest.
Okay.
Shall we?
Yeah.
And for me, I think it starts off with
Sorry, boss, but there's only two men I trust. One of them's me, the other's not you.
Doesn't even make sense.
there are some great. This is like 97, so this is very active, being 14 years old, going to like Blockbuster and stuff. I sort of remember that, like getting videos, getting into some more R-rated pictures. And so, I don't even know if we mentioned it in the last one, but sometime in this 96, 97 range is obviously the combo of The Rock Face Off and Con Air is all kind of coming out. So huge, absolutely huge films that, do they hold up? They absolutely do. Absolutely. They hold up as what they are. They were always the way that they were, and they still are the way that they are. They haven't changed. Like, I don't know. When I rewatch them, they're like, yeah, it's pretty stupid.
That's
My
what it
Hummingbird,
is.
all that shit. It is. And Nicolas Cage, we've done a full pot on it, so we don't have to do a full debrief on it. But the fact that he goes to prison because his hands are lethal weapons and he's not subject to the same laws as other people. That's a thing. Okay. that's the premise of the movie. And then there's an airplane that has convicts on it. Fucking, oh fuck, so good. And then just the fact that all the Aaron Rodgers shit still keeps it relevant with the tank top and all the long hair. It's a beauty.
So, like,
But yeah, what do you have on there?
Action movies are interesting because, like, I realized when I was looking at it that it's not only like action, but we talked about last year, 96, having Executive Decision with Steven Seagal, and that paired him with like Kurt Russell. And then there was also, we missed one, it was Glimmer Man, which paired him with Keenan Ivory Wayans.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Steven Seagal,
this year had Double Team. So it was Jean-Claude Van Damme, but paired with Dennis Rodman. And I'm like, what was with
my
this?
God.
This is like the surge of those action guys. Because like their more popular movies were in the late 80s, early 90s. The Steven Seagal and Jean-Claude Van Damme stuff when they were their solo stuff. So like this is almost like that was dying down. And now the world was like, hold on, they still have something left. We just need to put famous people in the movies with them. It can't be just them. So they started pairing up like real actors. Keenan Ivory Wayans, a comedian. And then you have, well, Jean-Claude Van Damme, we're going to put someone else in the movie. Oh, what, like a big actor? No. No, Dennis Rodman's getting a lot of attention these days. He's a basketball player. Yeah, no, it'll be fine. So you're going to have Jean-Claude Van Damme and a basketball player in an action movie together. Absolutely. And that's where we got Double Team. So that was interesting. A big one I remember getting a lot of pull, and I'm not really certain why, because the premise is just kind of like, all right, is Anaconda came out this year. And I remember Anaconda being really big at the time. Ice Cube, Jennifer Lopez, Owen Wilson, John Voight. Like, I don't remember like how a movie about a snake got that big, but I remember seeing that at a packed theater at the mall, at the Finger Lakes Mall.
Yeah. Everybody saw it in the theater because it was like off the heels of Jurassic Park still. You know, it's like creature movies. Came out in the summer, had just, I don't know why it was so big, honestly. It's not, that one does not hold up at all.
It does not, no. No, there's some pretty
The,
bad CGI scenes
The
in
John Voight wink after he gets whatever the word is from the
Partially
puked up by
digested.
the anaconda. Yeah. Really weird. Big year for Austin Powers has got to be on your list.
Mine's
Think
on
about
my
that
yeah,
one.
100%. That's actually what I
That
was
was a
gonna bring up.
summer of everybody in 8th grade. Or I don't know if we were going into 9th grade, but just all the Austin Powers isms all day. Yeah, baby. Like just everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. A lot of that. Too much, probably. Really. But very irreverent, funny. Obviously spawned all the sequels. Kind of dumb. Actually, I should revisit that. But I just remember everybody saw that movie our age, and was just regurgitating all of the Austin Powers isms. And
Yeah, it was ad nauseum.
it's weird.
It was right. It almost, you think back on it and you're like, I feel like it's obnoxious to even think about. Maybe it's good, but I think it was like, all right, for 14-year-olds. I mean, you have characters named a lot of vagina, and you're just like,
there's so much slapstick. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So for our age group, I think it was just like, oh my God, this is this is the purest form of comedy. Like,
It is. A lot of shit humor and
Yeah.
sex humor. A lot of 14-year-olds going around that year saying, "Do I make you horny, baby?" Like just in school, just like saying shit like that. Like I can't even imagine like teachers being like, "What the fuck is going on here?" Like, it's-
right, what the
can't hear
hell?
that.
These little
Yeah.
twerps have no fucking clue what they're yammering about.
Yeah. Oh man. You know what? Strangely enough, so this is the year Titanic came out too, which was obviously huge. I don't think I ever saw it. I think part of me is like, I'm not going to see it because everybody else is seeing it. And in this last week, for some reason, my YouTube algorithm, usually when I go to sleep, I've said before, I put on ASMR or thunderstorms or something, or if I put on ASMR, it'll auto to thunderstorms because I think it knows I'm sleeping. But now it's switched over to at 3 in the morning, putting on long movies. So, like earlier this week, I woke up to like tradition, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" It was like Fiddler on the Roof was on, and I was like, "Oh my god, why?" I've never even searched for anything remotely close. Why do they just know that I leave my TV on at night and they're just gonna play "If I Was a Rich Man"?
What a weird algorithm.
I know. So it's like, do they just know I'm going to be asleep? So they're just trying to throw out movies and try to get views for it. And then 2 nights ago, I woke up to Titanic as it was sinking, the movie. And I was like, what the
They
fuck?
blindsided you with
Never once in my life have searched for this. And now YouTube's just throwing these 3-hour movies at me. And I actually ended up watching it for half an hour, unfortunately, because I was really trying to go to sleep. But it was like Leo looking like a stud. Locked up. I guess he was like the poor boy or something like that, and she was like, the high society girl. And there's titties in there, and she was a hottie, and he was a hottie, and people could not get enough of it. I guess people were going to the theater multiple times, but I never really got it. But it was so huge, that and Celine Dion. Like, do you remember? Like, people were talking about it at school and all this shit, and I didn't know. I was like, how is this so big? How is this like happening?
Right. Where's the good? It's not good. No, I never saw Titanic either. Again, probably same reasons. It was like, well, I'm not interested in it. I'm a 14-year-old boy. Like, again, like I'm like, I don't want to see this movie. Even like when people talk about it, I'm like, I want to see it less. I'm like, I don't like. There's nothing that pulled me in, so I just kind of kept it at an arm's length. So I was, more mature watching stuff like Austin Powers and one that bears mentioning because of how popular he was that he got a movie, Howard Stern in Private Parts.
Oh,
that came out.
Wow, that was that year.
That was
Yeah,
another
yeah.
one that I saw when, of course, not in the theater when it came to video, and didn't understand half of what I was watching on that. In 97, no. In 99, I was very in tune with what Howard Stern was offering the general public. But that was probably a big 2 years where you're learning a lot of stuff, because in 97, at like 14, I don't understand half of what I'm watching here.
Dude. And that is when we were all introduced as 14-year-old boys to Jenna Jameson. People don't know. See, in the 90s, you had to like one porn star, and she had to have videotapes, because that's how it's, or magazine pictures, or we're starting to get. I think this is the year I do get internet at home, but it wasn't like there was no Pornhub.
No,
There was if you wanted to venture down that path, you're playing a dangerous game. And I remember this is how dangerous it was. I remember looking up whatever. I'd probably look up Jenna Jameson titties. Is that with D's or T's? I don't know. I'll start with D's because she's got D's. I don't know how to spell titties yet. I am a young man. And I will sit here for the next minute and wait for this picture to download. Yeah, that's the stuff. Sure is a lot of hair there. Oh, well, I don't know anything about women or their bodies, but I like it. And then, sure enough, I think my uncle Steve, we were at dinner one night, and he was always into computers before my family was. He was telling my mom, he's like, oh, yeah, your internet might be going slow because, like, you got to clear out the cache and the history, like, if you do that kind of stuff. And I was like, wait, what are these words that you're saying? History. What does that mean? It's like, and then I was like, fuck, is there a thing? And he was like, I'll come over this week and I'll show you how to do it, to my mom. And I was like, oh God. I was like, no.
It sounds horrible.
No. So one night on the computer, I remember getting on, and I found like where you do the history, and I was like, well, I can't. And there was everything. It was like NHL, magic tricks. That was another one I was looking up. And then just debauchery. So I was like, well, I better find these websites that say whatever, pornomag.com or I don't know, just generic something. And I was like, oh, no, it's not just like the one website. It's every click has a thing that you ever did. And every image, it's cookied everything. Or I don't know what that meant. Or cached. And I was like, so I went through thousands and thousands of items and went through delete, because I didn't. Because if I would have cleared the whole history, I would have been.
They would have seen.
They would have known. I'd be like, well, how is this history cleared already? Who would have done such a thing and why? And I would have been. But so I went. It probably took like a couple hours.
Wow.
And cleared out all of my history. Then he came over and he did it, and I just remember sitting in my bedroom, like thinking down the hall, like, fuck, they're gonna. What if I missed one? And I don't know. And nothing ever came of it.
But in reality,
so
his was a half a second long and just cleared it.
Yep, probably.
Yeah. He's not looking through anything.
Even if they did, like, what would they do? I mean, it wouldn't bring. I don't know. It's like, how do you confront somebody about that in that age? Nobody knows. This is new ground for everybody.
Yeah, we're all learning. We're all learning together.
Yes. It must have been a virus. Yeah, that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Am I using that term correctly, Uncle?
Viral.
This is a virus.
Yes. I did. I couldn't have clicked on that. But yeah, private part. Damn, that was Stern was huge. Terrestrial radio. That movie was huge. His story about it. Perfect for 14-year-old.
Absolutely.
Good Will Hunting came out that year.
I didn't see Good Will Hunting till much later.
At the time.
Yeah.
I appreciate. I mean, that's one that holds up. I rewatched it recently. Great movie. Still good. Very memeable. Everybody knows the references now. The janitor who's a genius, and the Robin Williams who's, it's not your fault. Living life, you're smart, but you haven't experienced life. All that stuff still hits home, Still a great film. How do you like them apples? All of it. It's all good. Then, wasn't it part of, then, isn't that in the Kevin James world where they're filming like Good Will Hunting 2 or something like that?
Yes.
What
Kind
movie is that from? Jay and Silent Bob or something?
I think it's Jay and Silent Bob. I think it's Jay and Silent Bob reboot. I think.
Well, everything's derivative now, and like everything's getting sequels, and Goodwill 2, Goodwill Hunting 2, Still Hunting or something like that. He's
yeah,
actually like using hunting or shooting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, not a ton happens in movies or music. The more I looked into it, like, I mean, obviously tidbits and stuff, but I think it was a recovery year.
I could see that.
Music in Hollywood, like, not a ton going on because the music stuff, really not a ton of stuff jumped out at me. I mean, I took note of a few things. Probably the biggest couple albums I found were Ixnay on the Hombre by The Offspring. That was huge for me, getting that. I have a vivid memory of listening to it in my bedroom on my boombox. Trevor Walsh had come over and for a sleepover, and we just listened to that album while playing like Genesis, or N64, one of those, and Color and Shape for Foo Fighters. I got that at Blockbuster back when Blockbuster had music section. I remember buying that.
I didn't even remember
from
that.
Blockbuster.
Really?
I don't know. Oh.
Yeah, the Everlong album. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had that on there. Monkey Wrench.
Monkey Wrench
Good
was
one.
massive for me. Like, Everlong took a while for me to catch up to, and like My Hero. But like Monkey Wrench, I remember hearing that for the first time. I'm like, oh, this song is so rad. And then seeing the music video on MTV of like them peering through the room and them seeing themselves in the all black, like playing it and stuff. And I'm like, yo, this is the same band that did like Big Me. I'm like, Dave Grohl had his like hair cut short. He got the goatee now, so he looks nothing like Dave Grohl should look like. And I'm
Started
like, yo,
his late 90s vibe. Yeah.
I'm like, this band is rad. Like, Monkey Wrench definitely sold me on Foo Fighters. Dude Ranch for Blink-182. I got exposed to that pretty early. But another one stood out. I was surprised to find out that this is the same year that Hanson came out with their
I was wondering,
debut
because
album.
I see a lot of like one-hit wonders. This seems like a very one-hit wonders type year. I don't know if Chumbawamba was this year,
It was.
but
I
Hanson,
noted
yeah.
that.
Barbie Girl was out.
Mm.
One of the top hits on the Billboard, Sneaker Pimp, 6 Underground. 6 Underground. Bam, bam, bam. It's like a one-hit wonder. Like,
not
there's
ringing
all
any
these songs that
bells.
like you don't remember the bands, and like they just like have these. We're starting to get into these eras of singles.
I think we're gonna wipe out. I think we're gonna brush '97 under a rug because I checked out 3 of the top 6 songs for 1997 were by either Puff Daddy or R. Kelly. Not a great year to
Yeah,
reminisce
that's
about.
tough. I did see
That's
that. I
That's
didn't
a
want to.
tough. That's
Yeah.
a tough year to bring up.
Yeah.
So big year for pedos. Huge opportunity.
Yeah, they were young. They were just
And Yeah. So that was
They were
that
just
was
coming into
interesting.
their
But
own.
It was the big to do. Also was Notorious B.I.G. getting shot and killed, which is how Puff Daddy got one of his songs to be popular. So
I know.
exploitation
So
of his
shady.
buddy's death.
And that's the shadiest part of Puff Daddy.
Absolutely.
He did.
If nothing else ever
And
comes up on
the
that
other
guy's
thing,
radar,
the other thing, but yeah,
that's the worst. But
was the
that
disrespect.
the shadiness, it was the second worst.
yeah. And it's the a good. It's a good album that I have revisited, and I remember liking some of the singles, but later on, years later, he would like it more. Third Eye Blind album that came out that year holds up.
Is that
Remember
the, one
the
with
big
Semi-Charmed Life on it?
yeah, and you thought that was one that you thought would have been a one-hit wonder, and maybe it was, but they had that When They Graduate, and then some. They had ended up having a few standards that were in play. But that album itself is good. It's a good album.
Yeah.
Sugar Ray, big year for Sugar Ray. Mark McGrath is still milking the teat off of that one. That song still famous somehow, doing random shit here and there, popping up here and there, all because of
Fly.
Fly. I wanna
Yeah.
fly. Ticket. I don't know what was going on there. And this is the beginning of the 5-year domination, or however long it is, of Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and Spice Girls taking over the world. The group bands they've entered. They will become synonymous with TRL, with movies, with dances, with pop culture, with posters on bedrooms, major motion picture, everything. It becomes ubiquitous with culture is group bands. And we don't know about everything that these young people are going through. All the former Disney kids and all these teenagers and 20-somethings being manipulated by managers. And we don't care because we have to do dances together and do the same move at the same time in a line. And that's how you do music, and that's how you dance. You do it like that with the same move. Pop, oh. A lot of this, a lot of shoulder dip, pop, a lot of stop, a lot of that happening.
A lot of
synchronized dancing. Yeah, it's a huge year for that.
Both on the music and movie scene, Men in Black. But I bring that up because it was very popular. But I have never been huge on Will Smith, neither his movies or his music. So it was always a treat when you got a Will Smith movie and you got a Will Smith song that blew up incessantly and really like punished the airwaves. But that Men in Black song, terrible. What an obnoxious tune! Like just Galaxy.
Why was that so big? That's
It's
so wild.
bad. It's such a bad song. Like I know it and you don't realize how every hip hop song that came out in the 90s was sampled from something from the 70s. Like you find that out later, 80s or 70s, that every freaking hip hop song was basically sampled from something else. But I'm just like,
Yeah, especially when you're a kid, you don't know.
'cause
Then you start hearing the real songs, and you're like, wait, where's the part that this is a different song? No way. They stole this?
So it's an obnoxious song. The movie, I guess the first one was okay, but like, I don't know, like just Will Smith never, like, I don't, just Fresh Prince, I guess, was good, and I get that it was popular, but don't mix popular with good, folks. Always remember, popular and good are not, they do not go hand in hand. Something can be shitty and popular.
He went on a stretch because, Fresh Prince, and then that with Independence Day, which we mentioned from the last year, just blew up. Then he's just off on bangers. I mean, commercial success. Like, pretty much everything he touches for the next few years just box office gold.
And it's just...
he was just... I guess he was very likable, and, like, people... You know what? He was real easy for the white folks to be into. Like, finally rap... for
the
my
hip hop that
family and
speaks
church.
to me, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Will Smith doesn't cuss in his records, as Eminem said. But no, you probably should have. I probably would have as a teen, as an early teen. I probably would have at least been drawn to it if you swore more. So sorry, Will Smith. I think you lost me.
Maybe you wouldn't have got
as a
so
teenage
worked
boy.
up and smacked a comedian on public TV years later.
Boy, that is still in
that sits
effect.
with him now,
Yeah,
forever. You know
that's
what?
part of him
That and
now.
his weird kids, his weird ass kids.
He has really interesting children, and I don't even know if I mean interesting
Which,
as
it's not their
polite
fault.
or whatever, but it is something.
And what's 97 without little N64? We got into it last week, but this is the year GoldenEye comes out, and maybe the biggest game for a couple years. This is probably the most important thing out of this year is WCW versus NWO on N64
So
and GoldenEye. So 2 couch co-op games that make you furious at your friends, and you're just like, everybody's cheating if you're not winning. That's the way it is. That's the way it feels. But yeah, the 3D wrestling games that start to come out with this, because I wasn't even watching wrestling at this point. I had sort of like taken a step back, but I was like, holy shit! Like forgot, like Hogan's in WCW or NWO or whatever this shit is. I don't know what's going on, but the game was so easy to learn, like just pressing strong grapple, light punch, all this special move, flick the stick, all that. Yeah, a lot of flicking the stick at 14. I'll say that. Not too proud, but yeah, doing specials and I just remember, and then GoldenEye, just the fucking, like just so much screen cheating. The era of screen cheating, you weren't supposed to, but don't look at my. Oh, I'm not. Yeah, no. It's just like, how do you know where I am? How do you know where I am?
You spun around as I was standing behind you, waiting to shoot you. You just, no, I just wanted to go the other way. Yeah, it was a lot of screen watching. It was the birth of screen watching. And
I mean,
the
it's
game,
really difficult to not.
I'm pretty sure the makers of the game knew fully well what they were doing when they put Oddjob in the game, and they're like, this is going to cause so many fights. So to have the shorter person, which means it's a harder target to hit, but even just the comedy of it all, where like your player could kneel, but they didn't have a graphic for it moving while you were kneeling, so you could move while you were kneeling, but what it looked like to someone else is that your person would go down on one knee and then just hover on the board. Because like it didn't have leg motions for kneeling, so you just slid around the board. But man, that game, just like playing people, oh my God, and doing things like slappers only and just
dude, nothing angrier than like the proximity mines one. You just keep walking into shit and you're like, how do you I can't even go anywhere. Just in every hallway, behind every door, proximity mines. Just fucking like, what the fuck? God damn it.
Yep, you're not even enjoying the game. You're just angry.
Or Golden Gun, where you just keep like neither person can hit, and then you're just like fucking slappers only, one hit. Just like, what the fuck?
Yep.
I hate this game. Have you revisited GoldenEye? I don't know if I want to. I know it's on the Switch. I mean, I have it.
Be good.
Right? I know
there's
it was
like a
revolutionary.
0% chance it's good.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking the control-wise, maybe it'd be good to do it on the Switch with the new modern controller, because the N64 controller, when it came out, it made sense when you learned it. It was like, oh, this is great. This is like intuitive. But once, the Halo control scheme came out, the double sticks and all that changed everything. Like the N64 one was like, I don't even know how to do this. Like use the C buttons to strafe and like, just now when you try it, you're like aiming, you're 360 aiming, doing that. Just like, I don't think I could play it. I mean, I would love to like even do the single player version, but I think I would ruin the memories I have, which also sound like bad memories, but those are my memories. So
memories
I have
of
them.
Frustration and hating your friends. I don't want to taint that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, Mario Kart. We mentioned it before, but I think that came out that year. So yeah, big year for couch co-op gaming, and
yeah,
and that was the way it was in 1997. Man, we're getting up to. We've almost done this 100 times. That's fucking wild. That's crazy.
Yeah. Right about Christmas time.
Yep. It'll be a real treat for everybody. But that's it. That's all I got. I'm kind of tired. I don't mind doing a shorty. Huh?
I got it. Yeah,
as we said, 97 shorty. Keep it a shorty. Was that a 97 thing?
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about, so I'm going to just...
Sure. You know how we called all of our girlfriends shorties in 1997?
Right.
Remember?
Yeah.
All of our girlfriends we definitely had in 1997.
Those all make sense.
Shorties.
Yeah, I gotta do something to like... I haven't showered, so I gotta do that. I gotta do some sort of physical exercise so that I can then shower. And then I have a child's birthday party that I have to go to.
Oh, how old?
3.
Okay. So
probably watch some football.
It's a little young for
Be
Diddy.
realistic. Let's be a little real. Let's be realistic. It's gonna be some football and stuff, but hang out with some people. So it's fine. It's not. I don't think it's a massive event. So that's okay. It's okay. It gets me out of the house. I work from home. It gets me out of the house.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
It's a very different
Sunday
aspect.
out of the house.
When you work from home, you forget that you need to do stuff out of the house on the weekends because you're like, well, I gotta. Yeah, you can't just. You have to spot check and be like, when was the last time I left the house? Now yesterday I went to a concert, so I'm definitely on the plus side this weekend.
Right.
But
Okay.
you just got to make sure of it. But
And now you will engage with people, friendly people. And,
exactly.
You'll still get to have the football. You'll still get to be at a house, but you'll just be doing it somewhere else. Yeah, that is interesting. Part of the work from home thing. Yeah, I don't even think about that. Is you have to recharge by like getting out. You have to get your extrovert charge up, so you can then be
especially
in the house for the whole
especially
week.
during the winter. Because during the winter, I have no ambition to do stuff at night because it's dark out when I am done with work. So it's a lot harder to motivate yourself to get out of the house. So like in the summer, I'll go to trivia, something like that. Like because it's light out, you still are ambitious. But in the winter months, you gotta leave the house during the weekend. You have to.
Yeah, I
That's what
actually
I'm into.
one of my Amazon purchases. I guess you can't see it from here, but because I still gotta like go outside or go for a run after work, just like once in a while to just like have the air. But it's so goddamn dark. And one day I did it a couple weeks ago, and a car almost hit me. Just didn't see me. I mean, probably should have seen me, like if I was really paying attention. But I didn't have any reflective snow. I actually have a reflective like thing to wear over myself, and it has like a light on the front and a light on the back. And I'm just like, I look like a real square, like a real old person, but I have to. I'm not going to let the winter destroy
not getting
me
hit
this
by
year.
a car
I have
is
to get out.
probably not getting hit by a car is a pretty good reason to do that, though.
Yeah. It's only for safety. It's not because of cool.
It's not
being
for
cool
fashion
at all.
I want everyone to
Yeah,
understand. I don't think it's fashionable. I didn't realize we had to talk about that.
Yeah. But that's how I've been fighting the darkness, is just by still trying to go outside. And one thing I realized too now that it's dark so early and driving and commuting so much is, do a third of people, do you think, drive with their high beams on all the goddamn time? That's what it feels like. I swear to God. Either that or lights are too bright. We don't have to discuss too much, but that's just a feeling I had in the darkness. And
Well,
I'm
that's
getting
that's
used to
a
driving in the
teaser for
dark,
next
except
week.
for those fucking lights, those goddamn lights. And I'm like, I know those high beams are on. I don't know if those are halogen ones, but goddamn it, it's annoying. And I'm just trying to see the road in front of me, and I'm squinting through your lights, and it's the worst.
You should probably play the music. You're getting riled up.
And somehow we manage.
Cactus would be more than me.
We need more angry car talk.
I'm not done talking about headlights.